There are also events around numerous places in North Texas: Fort Worth, Arlington, Euless. We have team coverage, we have crews on the ground, and we have all of the angles covered for you here. Let's get you first to Fox 4's David Sentendrey, who is live at Dallas City Hall. No doubt this is going to be the benchmark event of the day, likely, David. A lot of people are expected to turn out. What are things looking like right now?
Yeah, Casey, a lot of people expected to turn out, and I can tell you right now there are at least several thousand people here outside of Dallas City Hall at this No Kings protest that really people have been talking about all week long. We saw that protest on Monday that took over the Margaret Hunt Hill Bridge. This is a different type of protest that is just now getting underway. I will say about 15-20 minutes ago, as they were getting people ready, just announcing how this protest was going to be, they said this is a nonviolent, peaceful protest, and the whole crowd just erupted in cheers. And another person on the megaphone said, "Let me repeat, this is a nonviolent, peaceful protest," and those cheers just continued on. So as you mentioned, this is in downtown Dallas, just outside City Hall. We have several thousand people here, and to my left is where the crowd is centered around some speakers who are going to be talking for at least the next hour from what we're hearing. Over to my right, you can actually see City Hall, and just to get an idea of how many people are here, you can see people just spread out here in front of the building, not even able to see where these speakers are at, but they're all able to listen to it, and they're just here to be present in the moment. Behind me, toward downtown, you can see that people are still coming in here to the protest, filing in. We can see at least a block away from this area, and people coming in with signs, and it looks like there is still a whole lot of people still left to come. So we're going to walk down here and just go through the crowd for a little bit. We saw a lot of people out here, obviously, with signs. We saw people waving flags, a lot of American flags. We know that was something intentional, that people were wanting to bring the U.S. flag out here to this protest. People are starting to listen to the first speaker, I can tell right now, and if anyone's wondering if this is going to be contained to this area or if it's going to spread out into the streets, I did talk to a protest organizer just a bit ago who confirmed to me that during the second hour of this protest, that's when they plan to do some sort of a walk around downtown. I was told it would be about a mile. They would not give the exact route, but they said it will be about a mile going through downtown. Again, that No King sign right here is what everyone's talking about. This is a coordinated effort, hundreds of protests across the country right now under this same phrase, No Kings. We did reach out earlier this week in an effort to try to get an interview with the organizers of these protests, both on the local level and on the national level, just to get a feel for what their message was. We never heard back from the organizers. On their website, however, it does talk about it being a nationwide day of defiance. However, it talks about it being a nonviolent day of defiance. So again, I mentioned a minute ago, everyone was erupting in cheers when they heard the speaker say this is going to be a nonviolent, peaceful protest. That's what people appear to be here for. At any protest, you always wonder about counter-protesters, and I can tell you we've been looking around trying to see if there's anyone on the opposition of this coming out here. No one that I've seen so far. So it's still early, but we have made a loop around City Hall, and everyone here seems to be people who are here in favor of this protest. Another question that a lot of people are going to have, and that we've been talking about all week, is what will the police presence be like? Because we know that Dallas Police Department is quite aware of this protest. We know that they have actually met with some community organizers in the past couple of days just to talk about what their expectations are here. And again, we remember that scene on Monday over on the Margaret Hunt Hill Bridge where one person was arrested. There were officers in riot gear having to control that crowd that took over the street. From right here, I have not seen a single Dallas police officer in the past 30 minutes or so. That doesn't mean that they're not somewhere nearby monitoring. We know they always are, and they have some sort of a plan. But it seems like they do not want to make their presence felt right now because this is, again, being organized as a peaceful protest. So it seems like they don't feel there's any need right now to insert themselves into this sort of situation. So if you want to get another look at just how wide this is, again, we're at Dallas City Hall right now, and behind our photographer that we're pointing to right now, that is where the crowd is focused on a group of speakers who will be talking again for the next hour or so. We know this is just one of several protests that's happening in DFW, I believe 8 or 9 protests, but this is definitely the heart of it. This is where we expect the most people to come out here. And we're just going to keep monitoring it. We're going to be talking to people throughout the afternoon. I can tell you that I came from our station out to this protest just to cover it, which is about 6, 7, 8 blocks away, and there were a lot of people coming further away from our station, just walking out here. So a lot of people making plans ahead of time, getting their parking far away from here and coming in. Just very organized. A lot of people taking their time to get out here, and we can still see from a couple blocks away, people are still rolling in. So I wish I could give you a number of how many people are out here right now, but it's certainly at least several thousand, one of the larger protests that you'll see. Now, how many of these people will head out into the street when it does come time to walk?